Hey guys, alright, so we're talking Eggs Benedict. Now listen, I have a bit of a pet peeve with Eggs Benedict, and my thing is that I don't like the way restaurants make it. And I'm gonna show you how to make it like in the best way possible, and it's gonna be the best Eggs Benedict I think that you can make at home. And that's the really important thing. I want you to be able to create this at home in your kitchen, like I'm gonna do today. Instead of an English muffin, we're using brioche bread, which is like so tasty. It's buttery, it's delicious. I just want to eat the whole loaf right now. So we're going to use that as our base today. And then we're going to get with the other elements. And there's a lot of components in Eggs Benedict, but I'm going to make it so easy for you today. And we're going to have a bit of fun while we do it too. So 2 like thick slices right here. And I'm just going to pop those in the toaster. They're going to go right in. So the reason why I'm using brioche today is because, let's be honest, when you get an English muffin, right, you toast it, it's like a puck. You could just throw it against the wall. It's like you can't even cut through it. And like a lot of restaurants, they'll toast it beforehand and then they assemble the Eggs Benedict, and it just never works and it drives me crazy. So that's why we're doing brioche. Because it's my favorite as well. We need a Canadian bacon, but we're not using Canadian bacon. We're using pancetta today. And we just have beautiful cubes here. You can buy it in the store. And listen, again, when you're cutting through the Benedict, you want to just get like a beautiful piece that has like all these yummy flavors in it. And it's so important when it comes to this. The toast, I can smell it already. I can smell that butter almost like burning. Keep an eye on it because it will burn. And I burn it so many times. And all right, so hot, but look, super toasted, perfect. Just be careful on that because, look guys, it burns all the time. Right, you can do the toast. You can do the toast ahead of time. With brioche, it doesn't get tough. It stays really nice, really buttery all the time, okay? So that's really important. I'm gonna pop on my stove. You could use regular bacon, but I would say chop it into small pieces like this. So as with Benedict, as we all know, we use Canadian bacon, those round pieces of, it's almost like deli meat that's kind of tough. I don't think it tastes that great. You get a lovely saltiness with this cured pork, this pancetta that you can get at any store, or go to like a deli, you can get it there too. And if they don't have it in cubes, ask your butcher to cut it into thick slices and you can cube it when you go home. So we're gonna get that going. So now, just to recap, we got our toast going. We got our pancetta going. So I absolutely love it. So Eggs Benedict is just one of those brunch items where every time you see it on the menu, you have to get it. But as I'm saying, there's a lot of things that kind of annoy me about it. I think it could be just made so much better. Take out that muffin, chop up that bacon, just make it in small pieces. Because when you're like just cutting it, you just want that really nice bite. And wait until we get to the Hollandaise, because that's gonna like really take it to the next level. And today we're making like a California BLT Benedict. We have the avocado, we're gonna use tomatoes, we have some arugula lettuce, like all those are great. I love a BLT. Like it's one of my favorite sandwiches ever. I think it's the most simple sandwich ever put together, but I mean, just all those flavors just combined. It's just this umami of like flavors in your mouth, and it's, I think I want a sandwich now. Actually, I have the ingredients to make a BLT if I wanted to right now. I think I might do that after this. Okay, here's the hard part. The hard part is poaching the eggs. Let's swirl some water, let's put some fucking vinegar in there, and like, let's see what happens. And every single time, it doesn't work. Like, I went to culinary school like years ago. We would do this in school, and I think every student in the class could never get it right. Like, I think you would do like 12 eggs and you get like 2 that like looked semi-okay. No more. What you're gonna, like, you're gonna show your neighbors like how to poach an egg after you see this, okay? So I got some hot water here. I wanna bring it up to a boiling. This is genius. When you see what happens here, it's so good. Like, I get really excited about showing you guys this, because I can't remember where I saw it. I saw it somewhere, maybe online or something, and I was like, that is like the best thing I've ever seen in my life. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna crack an egg into a small serving dish. It could be a ramekin, it could be a mug, whatever you guys got at home. It's fine, like a glass. This is just so you can pop it into the water. We're starting to get bubbles. I want like a nice boil. Now, one thing to note, when you're doing this, take your eggs out of the fridge at least an hour. You want them to come to room temperature so they will cook in the amount of time I'm going to tell you. So it's 3 minutes for a poached egg, the way we're going to do it. I'm getting bubbles. I'm really happy. The water is boiling. We're at almost a simmer. So what we're going to do is I'm going to shut off the heat. So shut off the heat, and we're just going to add our egg into the water. There's 1. There's 2. I'm going to pop the lid on, and that's it. Set a timer for 3 minutes. We're going to come back, and they're going to be perfectly poached. Now we're going to make our Hollandaise. So right over to the blender. Now to the Hollandaise. Okay, we're going to do it slightly different. I mean, yeah, we could do a butter Hollandaise, like everybody fucking does that. It's like, we're not going to do it. We're going to do avocado. I said it's going to be a California Benedict. It's BLT, bacon, lettuce, tomato, and avocado au blat. Is that what they call it? So we're going to add avocado, but we're going to do an avocado Hollandaise. So we're just going to get 2 avocados. These are pretty small, so if you get a big avocado, you just need to use 1. It's like, where would we be in California without avocados? I don't know. I wouldn't be in Ireland, I can tell you that. I just don't know. I don't even think we get them there. Sometimes we do. I think we get them from Spain. Alright. So I got about 3 tablespoons of water right here in the blender. I'm just going to pop those in. And what I like about making this Hollandaise is that it's not going to break on you. If you make a Hollandaise with butter, and look, it's awesome and it tastes fantastic. But if you're trying to make a Benedict for like 6 or 7 people at home, that's just not the way to go. Unless you have a sous vide machine, then that's a whole other story. But we're not doing that today. So we got our avocado. What else we're gonna put in there? We're gonna put in juice of a lemon. And listen, as you go through this, we're gonna taste as we go. If I need to add some more lemon juice, we're gonna add some more lemon juice. I'm gonna put a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil in there. Because remember, butter, there's the fat in there. We're adding avocado, so it's like a nice healthy fat. So good pinch of salt. So a tablespoon of oil, I would just do like a 1 count, so like 1, 2. It's like a slow second count. That's kind of how I learned, and look, sometimes it's slightly off, but look, if we're just making this, it's totally fine. If you're baking, do not do that. Get your little teaspoon out, or get your tablespoon out, alright? Bit of cayenne. Leave this little thing on it. Don't take it off. I do sometimes, and the whole thing comes out. Not gonna want to do that. You don't want a super, super spicy Hollandaise. Okay, so we got our water in there to thin it up. We got our avocado. We're gonna pop the lid on. Cayenne, bit of spice in there. I'm just gonna pop this. Extra virgin olive oil, salt, pepper. Actually, I didn't put pepper in it. Cayenne. And we're just gonna whiz it. Now I'm just gonna peek in here and just have a look to see the consistency. Now I'd add a tiny bit more extra virgin olive oil. Yeah, doesn't take long. Okay. That's absolutely fantastic. It's so tasty. Okay. Now, as we can see, it has a nice consistency. I would maybe put like maybe a teaspoon of water in there just to loosen it up a bit. Just a tiny bit. I'm just gonna grab it right here. Okay. All right, so I threw a teaspoon of water in there. So look, end of the day, you gotta taste everything because you want it to the consistency that you like. Now, I mean, this is perfect. Look at this. So it pours. You want it to be able to spoon it onto the eggs at the very end. You want to make it your own. Look, recipes will have great directions. 1 second, I need to taste this. That's absolutely perfect. It's really, really good. And we're gonna finish it with some cayenne pepper on top. But as I was saying about recipes, they will have their ingredients on there, right? And you'll follow them, and sometimes it'll be too thick or it'll be too thin. You're like, oh God, what do I do? Taste it. Okay, if it's too thick, add some more liquid in there, whether it be lemon juice, whether it be water. Just make it your own. There's just no rules when it comes to the kitchen. Like, you're meant to enjoy it. So look, I'm making a bit of a mess here. Who cares? We're just gonna have a good time. We're gonna make it, and it's gonna be delicious at the very end. All right, I got a tomato here. I'm just gonna cut 2 slices. This heirloom tomato, super juicy, super tasty. If you see them at the market, get them. You can't beat it. I got a mold here. Just because I want to be fancy, you can use a glass at home. And I'm just gonna cut 2 little rounds, one on the plate. Now remember what I said about the toast. You can do this ahead of time. So you could cut all this ahead of time. The brioche is gonna stay super soft too. Now what am I gonna do? You're just gonna assemble it. So what I like to see on that, I would do a tomato next. 2 tomatoes. We got our pancetta. Okay. So to get my hands right in there. Right there. Right there. So we got some nice arugula, bit of pepper, right there. And guys, look, this is just a guide. You can assemble it any way you want. You just need these components on the plate. Now, the eggs. Right on top. They slip off, it's okay. Just kind of hold them there. And also another tip, what I want to say, when I said like you want the eggs at room temperature, you don't want the cold eggs to bring down the temperature of the water, because that's what makes this so genius, that whole tip of 3 minutes in the water. Okay, we got our pancetta, we got our tomatoes, we got our lettuce, we got BLT, bacon, lettuce, tomato, we have avocado. And now for like the winning, for just like absolute gorgeousness when it comes to this. Just gonna spoon it right there. Look at that. You see the way the avocado is so creamy. We did this in a blender. How easy was it? How impressive will all your friends think you are if you do this? And I'm just gonna hit it with a tiny bit of cayenne at the very end. I'm being so serious about this. This is serious, guys. This is food. Like, we need, like, cop on, like, you know, just a tiny bit there. Look at that color. Now, you could not get that in Los Angeles or across the country. That needs to be on a menu. That is so good. Look how pretty it is. We're going to go through it again because I'm just really proud of what I just did right now, because I came up with this last night and this is what we're doing today. We got our brioche bread, okay? You could use a hamburger brioche bun if you wanted to. You don't have to get one of these. You can just pop it down there. I think it just makes it look really elegant, really sharp. Food you eat with your eyes. I'm really proud of this, by the way, because I came up with this last night, like no joke, like 9 o'clock last night. I was like, okay, how can I make this dish different? Make it California style. We're gonna go through it again, guys. The brioche bread, we toasted it. You can do that ahead of time. You could get a brioche hamburger bun if you can't find the loaf. All good, who cares? Or your favorite piece of bread. Just don't use an English muffin, or you're just gonna throw it against the wall. Like, we're not doing that. We have a slice of tomato. We have our pancetta. We have lovely saltiness in there. Get super fresh, like ripe tomatoes if you can get it, super juicy. We got our poached egg. I mean, how genius is that? That I showed you a poached egg. You can do it in 3 minutes without swirling fucking water around. So I'm getting like angry now. But we have the avocado, almost like a crema, to be honest. I mean, you could put that on tacos. Another thing I want to talk about the Hollandaise is that, look, when you make it with butter, a lot of the times you'll see recipes and it will break. It'll just like break sometimes. And it's just such a shame. That will hold, I'd say that will hold for about 30 minutes, no problem. And it coats the eggs. You want the Hollandaise to coat the top of the egg. You don't want to see, you don't want it transparent. You don't want to be able to see through the sauce and see the egg. It's just a watery Hollandaise. Nobody wants that. And that's it. Bacon, lettuce, tomato, avocado with the Hollandaise. Thank you so much for watching. Make this at home. Show it off to your friends. And post it on Instagram. That's what all the kids are doing.
Okay.